Hey kids, it's me, Kevin Tinkin, reminding you to click those dang links down there. We got YouTube, we got EddiePepitone.com, we got that Patreon. And now let's get into the show. Hey ladies, hey gentlemen, hey boys, hey girls, hey animals, hey Apocalypse Soon fans. Welcome to the podcast with zero upside. The man is on the road. If you want to go see Eddie on the road, go to EddiePepitone.com. You can find him. And speaking of a man on the road, here he is. Make it loud for him in your car. Maybe you're at home listening on your headphones. And I want you to make it loud. Make it loud for him right now. It's Eddie Pepitone.
Hey, hello everybody. I am here in Woodstock, actually Kingston, New York, in the Hudson Valley, where a lot of ticks are. Are you afraid of ticks? Well, you may not want to be here, but Krishna Das was here this weekend. Krishna Das is a very spiritual singer in the tradition of just beautiful Hindu. I don't know if it's Hindu music, but it certainly isn't. It certainly isn't Black Sabbath. It certainly isn't like the NFL football songs. It certainly isn't like if you see someone really drunk and they're singing on the streets with profanity. It's not like that. It's this beautiful rhythmic salutation. It's like mantras. And he was here this week, and I came here also to hang out with my friends who had a movie premiere in Woodstock, a short animated film. And let me tell you something, there is nothing like a short animated film to change your perspective on things. A lot of people will want 90-minute movies that have to do with a heist, let's say. No, this was a poem by my friend called The Man in the Mangrove. The Man in the Mangrove Goes to Sleep. And it's just this meditation on homelessness. It's a meditation on what it means to be human and what it means to, where is home exactly, you know? In my case, it is at the Courtyard Marriott right now. And I just want to say that, so I'm not with Kevin. We don't have our usual thing, so I've got to do one of these audio podcasts again, and I just remembered I have to do it. And I want to tell you something that's going on with me is that I've started to be disciplined. I'm starting to write an hour or two a day, and I've done that for about a week, and it's becoming a habit that feels good. And I had just sat down. It's 8:00 over here in New York State. Hello, Max. I know Max lives up here. You know, we have the amount of followers where I could call you out by name. Anyway, so I'm in the Hudson Valley, and it's 8:00, and I just started doing my creative writing. And I call it creative writing because I like to give myself a little boost to call it creative. Sometimes the writing I do, it may be the opposite of creative. Anyway, so I just sat down to do it, and I'm like, fuck, I gotta do the podcast. So here it is. It's just gonna be me again. And I know that you guys, I don't know how well these podcasts go over. Kevin does a great job with the music and the interstitials and the sound effects. So I have that going for me, and you have that going for you. So let's get into this podcast right now. And this first bit I am going to call The Man Who Doesn't Know What Bit to Do, because he's in a Courtyard Marriott and he feels watched, he feels judged by the people working. There's there's a little bistro bar right across from me, and it's open till about 10:30. And there is someone looking at me, and it's the kind of bistro bar here at the Courtyard Marriott in Kingston, where things don't look that good. Like the pastry in this little glass box, the pastries look like they have been mugged. You ever see a pastry that looks like they've been mugged? Like this croissant that I see from here looks like it was walking down the street minding its own business, when all of a sudden, hey buddy, you want to give me your money? Hey, I'm a croissant. Yeah. Bullshit. I know you're a croissant. And I know you fucking guys cost a lot of money. And I know that inside of the dough, you have dough. Inside your bread and your fluffy little texture, you have some money. How did you know? All right, here's some money. Here's some change. Just change? Bullshit. How am I going to live on just change? Look, you got to change. Everybody's got to change, or else you get swept away by the tide. You know. I know what? Do you know about the Hopi Indians? What, do I look stupid to you? Of course I know about the Hopi Indians. You know what they said in their last message to people? They said that we're going through a time of great change, and that if we hold on to things, we're gonna drown, and that we need to let go and just float down the river of life. Yeah, and they also predicted the Bills would win the Super Bowl. Bullshit, croissant, okay? Okay? The Hopi Indians don't pick who's gonna win the Super Bowl. All right? They give messages to people about the Great Spirit and which way we are going as a civilization. And they pick winners. I was able to win $150 at Santa Anita on a Hopi Indian prophecy. Jesus Christ, I didn't know that. But anyway, I'm concerned with the fact that the Hopi Indians, they predict that there is going to be immense change. Excuse me, breaking news, gentlemen. I have to interrupt the croissant and the mugger and the Hopi Indian dialogue that's going on. Climate breakdown has gotten so bad that Roger Hallam, the leader or head or founder of Extinction Rebellion. By the way, check that group out, Extinction Rebellion. They are rebelling against extinction because by 2050, Hallam was on Instagram today, or just trying to put himself on social media and get the message out, that 4 billion people will be dead by the year 2050. And this is from a scientific report. And this information was buried in the appendix. Sorry, I'm burping up food I had in a vegan restaurant in Woodstock called The Garden. I'm Ted Johnson, and this is the breaking news. Not that I just had a meal in Woodstock called The Garden vegan. I had lentil soup, delicious. We had polenta with spinach and marinara sauce, good. And then a garden bowl, which consisted of kale, brown rice, and delicious tofu. And then we had dessert, and that was an apple crisp with vanilla ice cream and a coconut layer cake. And that's why, quite frankly, it's hard for me to take in these messages from the Hopi Indians and from someone like Roger Hallam and these scientists who are saying 4 billion people will be dead by the year 2050. I'm just full. When you eat that kind of good food, you kind of really aren't ready to hear disastrous things because you're sated. you're sated, you're satisfied, you just feel good from all that food. And that's the truth, you know. Maybe if I were very hungry, I would be hungry for that knowledge. Are you hungry for knowledge? Are you hungry for knowledge? Are you tired of the same old bullshit? Oh, you know, your high school textbooks or your fucking sanitized history books. Are you hungry for knowledge? And I'm not talking about crazy conspiracy bullshit on the internet. I'm talking about the truth. Well, read Chris Hedges' Substack. Read Howard Zinn's The People's History of the United States. Now, I haven't read that one. I read the first chapter, and it was fucking good. And I'm the type of guy who reads one chapter and then says he's going to read the rest of it. But then I get involved in a magazine called Hustler. Hustler has kept me from some of the classics. Like I was about to read The Great Gatsby, and there was just a lady I wanted to check out in Hustler. She was a bit of a freakazoid. Have you ever heard Rick James, The Freaks Come Out at Night? Well, this woman was a freak. And how am I supposed to read The Great Gatsby? How am I supposed to read beyond chapter 1 of the People's History of the United States? I can't. There's no way I can when you got freaks running around in Hustler magazine. Just a very attractive freak. I mean, look, I'm not one to be like, oh, my tastes are so eccentric. So would you like to order now? Yes, I would, garçon. All right, sir. We understand your tastes are eccentric. Well, I like some freaks, if that's what you're talking about. No, sir, I'm talking about food. Now, tonight we have a very, very spicy marinara that is poured gently on some organic rigatoni pasta, and this rigatoni is lightly seasoned with God. John, what are you talking about? With God, sir. I have been sent from the other side to talk to you, sir. What are you talking about? You're my waiter, are you not? Oh, sir. You think rigatoni with a marinara that tastes like God is your waiter? Oh, sir. Have you ever seen Watership Down? Watership Down? That's like a classic, right? Yes, sir. Well, I got involved with this freak. I wanted to see this freak that works for, that was in Hustler magazine. Sir, may I say that the reason you want to see freaks is because there is a great hole in your soul. A great hole in your soul. Ring, 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 ring. Ring, 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 ring. Ring, ring, ring. Hello? Yes, this is Ted Ballin. Ted who? Ballin? Ballin or Bolin? Doesn't matter. I just am wondering, did I get you before you closed? Yes, we're still open, but we will be closing soon. Now, let me ask you something. Are you or are you not a flower shop? Yes, we are a flower shop, but we are closing soon. Now, don't flowers have to open? Don't flowers have to be receivers of the sun? Yeah, but, this bit is not going to go anywhere if you're just going to do puns on opening and closing. Okay, I understand that. So what I'm going to try to do is pivot to a better bit, okay? All right, what's the bit? The bit is a freak from Hustler magazine. Let's say her name is Gloria Aldred. She's got tattoos all over her. She bleeds from her lips. Yes, her lips are bloody, but you really can't tell because of lipstick. And Gloria Aldred is oh my God, I'm choking on toxic waste. You know, sir, I mean, I don't think it's my job as a florist, but do you know that 4 billion people are going to be dead by the year 2050? Thank God I'm almost 70 because I would be dead. Yeah, but you're still going to see a lot of shit go down. You know, the next 10 years, I mean, you know, it's going to be brutal, as a matter of fact. And I want to break out of these incredible characters for a second to talk to you guys as a real person, as Eddie Pepitone, because I feel like, and this is the case when you're doing a podcast alone and you have nobody to play off of, that it is, you get kind of not bogged down, but you feel like it gets dry. And I just, what I do when I'm doing these alone is I just try to get inspired by a word that leads to a concept or a bit, and then I thought of the thing that's really going on. I'm talking about, I'm obsessed, not really obsessed, but we know that climate breakdown is here. We know that there are already climate refugees all over the world, and a lot of people in the United States anywhere, and that's where I live, they don't really realize it yet. So many people, they're still like going to raves, they're still dressing sexy, trying to attract the opposite sex or the same sex, whatever anyone's into. And they're still trying, you know, basically people are still trying to get laid. Even though 4 billion people will be dead, we are in a authoritarian fascist regime run by the biggest fucking idiots that I've ever seen in my life. Evil, cruel idiots. But what I wanted to originally tell you is that where I live in Los Angeles, California, there is something in the Pacific Ocean this year. Look it up. It's a super El Nino, and that means that the water temperature, it changes, the water temperature in the Pacific Ocean is the hottest that it's ever been on record. And what this could mean, they're never 100% sure, but they're saying it could be the worst, you know, El Nino, meaning torrential rains in the winter months in LA. And I put winter in quotes because it's never that cold in LA, and certainly not like a winter in the Midwest or even the Northeast. But anyway, we may get just life-threatening rain. And I love rain, but not if it's gonna just sweep us all away. So we shall see. I mean, on one hand, there is some part of me that is attracted to the chaos of what's going on in the world, and I'm not sure why I'm attracted to that. There's something exciting, fascinating about chaos until you're a part of it, until you're floating down a river of death and you see animals and other people. The worst thing for me is like seeing a dog or a cat getting swept away in these horrific floods caused by hurricanes or whatever, and this could be El Nino. But the worst part is seeing like an architect or an accountant floating down a river. There's just something about seeing bureaucrats, people who work in offices like an architect or an accountant. And I'm not talking about your Frank Lloyd Wright architects. I'm talking about architects who just design pieces of shit. You know, the average piece of shit architect, and you know who you are. And seeing, and an accountant, you know, an accountant has a very disastrously boring job. And when you see one of these bureaucrats floating down a river of death, you're like, oh my God, there goes someone who hardly contributes to society, yet he is dying in the worst possible way. So I just want to say, if you see an architect or blue collar guys, when they're floating down a torrential flood caused river, blue collar guys will kind of survive because they work with their hands. They're usually stronger physically than a bureaucrat.
We interrupt this little bit on El Nino. We interrupt this little bit on El Nino. We are in a helicopter above this river of death, and we see just, Eddie was talking about just then seeing bureaucrats or seeing blue-collar people like plumbers floating down there. We are seeing all occupations down there. We're seeing dog walkers drowning. We're seeing bistro bar attendants drowning. We're seeing baristas from all the chains, Starbucks, Coffee Bean, whatever other chain. How many hold on folks, how many chains are there coffee-wise?
Well, there's Starbucks, there's Coffee Bean. I'm not sure what the other chains are, Ted.
All right, well, anyway, we're seeing just every walk of life, and they are dying. It seems that floods and fires and all this stuff that's going on in climate change, it seems that it doesn't discriminate against anybody. And this just in, we have a message from the Hopi Indians. The Hopi Indians are saying that watch out for the Toronto Blue Jays. They are going to make a run to be in the playoffs, and once they get in, anything can happen. The Hopi Indians are giving the Blue Jays a 25-1 shot at being in the World Series, and that's the latest from the Hopi Indians. Here's another message from the Hopi Indians to the civilized world. In today's fourth race at Santa Anita, we have a winner being predicted by the Hopi Indians. It is going to be Lucky Strike is going to win the race, and the Cherokee Indians disagree with that. They are sending a message to civilization saying that it will be Traveling Suitcase who will win the third at Santa Anita. Santa Anita. I'm having trouble with that word, Bob, so I'm going to go kill myself.
Ladies and gentlemen, what you just heard was a broadcaster in a helicopter describing what was going on below him, and he couldn't pronounce Santa Anita. As you know, I'm having trouble myself since I am all the voices, and I just want to say that Santa Anita is a racetrack, and when he couldn't pronounce it well, he just took his life. And what I want to say to people out there, just because you're a failure, or just because you can't pronounce something, don't take your life. Don't take your life. Go to the gym and exercise. Throw a ball around with a friend. Dig a hole in the ground and see if you can find any coins from the Roman Empire. There's plenty to do. Study the heavens with the telescope. You can get a telescope cheaply now. You can get a telescope cheaply now at Target. Yes, they make telescopes. Yes, indeed. Hello. Can I help you here, sir? Yeah, do you have a telescope? I was told by Apocalypse Soon that if I use code 4125-317Q8510-CD, smaller case, capital D, small h, and then the word evacuate, that you can give me a telescope for half price. Can you give me that code once more, sir? God. No, I had memorized it. Now I don't know what the hell it is. Sir, may I ask you to step aside here and just go over there where the wild boars are? What is this, a Maurice Sendak novel? Just go to where the wild boars are, sir. All right, I'm here. Okay, sir. Now I'm going to push you into the wild boar pen. You ever see the movie Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels? That is not what it's called, ma'am. Lock, Stock, and Smoking Barrel? Nope. Excuse me, I'm going to go over here and kill myself. Ladies and gentlemen, we've had 2 people kill themselves because they're not able to pronounce things. The thing that really gets them is that they're just going to pronounce, okay, we now want to take you to an abortion clinic. Here we go. This is the abortion clinic. That's right on the water. It's a beautiful clinic here. Women who are deciding to get rid of an unwanted fetus, and they come down here, and not only do they get nice abortions, and nobody's going to turn them in down here because that's basically the economy here. We're in Santa Monica, California, and the abortion clinic is right on the water. It's not even on land. It's right by the water. Excuse me. I'm going to kill myself. Again, folks, that is someone who couldn't decide what it is called to be right by the water. I think you can hear in the background people yelling very loudly about what the fuck they want to drink, some kind of coffee beverage at fucking 20 to 9, for Christ's sake. I don't know why people are doing that. It's 20 to 9. Why do they have to do shit like that? Let's go to Fred Johnson, who is at the center of his brain. Fred?
Ted, I'm at the center of my brain. I think you could hear that a drink at this bistro bar is being made for some loud couple who can't shut the fuck up. Don't they know I'm doing a podcast? Now they're walking away from the bistro bar. They know that my podcast is hard enough to do alone. But they want, do you hear that, Ted? Anyway, I'm down here at the center of my brain, and I realize that I need God. I need God in my life, Ted. Oh, thank God, that noise stopped. Now I don't need God anymore. Do. If you need God, it may be because you live by a noisy espresso machine, and I certainly don't. Hey, you know how...
Hey, Ted, I just want to tell you this, too. I had this insight that what keeps us unhappy is the fact that we think we need to be happy all the time. Let me say that again because I think this is important. What keeps us unhappy is that we think we need to be happy all the time. And I'll tell you something, Ted, life is about acceptance. You have to accept where you are, who you are, what you're feeling in the present moment. Welcome to the present moment. I'm your host, Steve Launchin, and my God, I'm so in the present moment. We're all in the present moment all the time. There is no past. There is no future. So welcome to the present moment. This is all we have. This is all we'll ever have, is this moment. It's profound. It's so simple. The mind rejects it because the mind thinks it's too simple. The mind needs things to chew on. The mind needs things to be difficult. The mind loves crossword puzzles. The mind loves mysteries. It wants to figure things out. Well, guess what? There's nothing to figure out. We are all God. We are all in the present moment, which is all there is. We are distracted by so much. I myself, in this bistro bar, see 2 or 3 movie screens in front of me. One has actually they all have the same game on. It's a football game, and I really don't care. We get distracted by that. This football game supposedly happened in the past because it's from 1996. But guess what? 1996 happened in this present moment. So don't fear anything, folks. There is no death. There's only the present moment. Nothing real can die, because once you accept everything, you realize there is no death. The only thing that is real is our immortality, and the fact that I hear someone pushing a chair and it's really loud and it pisses me off, but I know that I'm in the present moment, and I wish you folks were in the present moment with me, because when you are in your head, you are a slave to time, and time veils. Everybody talks loud here. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I don't know. I think people, once you get older, you talk loud because you need excitement, and you also can't hear well. I want to say that time veils God from us. When you're in time, you are in illusion. Time is an illusion. I know that's kind of a trope that people say, but the reason time is an illusion is there is no time. There is just now. A tree, if you asked a tree what time it is, it would be absurd, because the tree would just say the time is now. What else is there? I just want you to listen to this conversation for 1 second. And of course it stops when I tell you to listen to it. This woman is describing how many meatballs are in this dish that is served at the bistro bar. And let me tell you something. I know time is an illusion, and I know that meatballs sold at a bistro in a hotel are not going to be good. Listen up. I don't know if you heard that, but he's probably going to have a beer or two with the meatballs. That to me is trying to just drown the pain. The reason we're in pain is because we believe there's a past, we believe there's a future, when there is only right now. And this is also another reason why you should stop doing all kinds of drugs and alcohol, because when you do that, you get into these rabbit holes of time where you think about things, yes, there's some good feeling. Anyway, I'm off of that stuff for 7 weeks, and that's why I'm proselytizing about it. This gentleman is still being very loud. Up, there goes the chairs again. Oh boy, it's not easy getting old. You start going down. You start going down to hotel bars. It's not really a bar even, but they do sell beer. Anyway, I digress. We're in the center of Ted's brain. I think. Hello. We're going to have a word from our sponsor now. Bill's Bic Pens. Bill's Bic Pens are open 24 hours, and we're here where the Hudson River funnels into the Bay of Despair. Bill's Bic Pens. It's all Bic Pens. It's all by the Hudson River where it funnels into the Bay of Despair. I believe that's what I said. Now, you could say, oh, this is bullshit. Eddie is making this up. Eddie's making this up. Well, guess what? We're all making everything up. What do you want? A linear fucking podcast where I interview some other piece of shit who's going to talk about their piece of shit career? Or let's say I interview a scientist and he's going to tell me about, oh, I made this observation. By the way, do you know that when different people observe the same phenomena, that the phenomena acts differently with the different people? It'll do one thing with one person. Let's say you're looking at quarks. And believe me, I have looked at quarks. Sometimes I'll smoke a J and I'll go to the boardwalk and I'll look at some hot quarks. Now I can see on an extremely microscopic level. And you ever hear that song? Under the boardwalk, I've been running the sun under the boardwalk, and we've been having some fun under the boardwalk, under the Okay, sir, you're almost out of the MRI, so keep singing the song that makes you calm. Okay, sir, we're going to let you out of the MRI in just a few minutes. It looks like the results are good. We're almost going to let you out. Okay, sir, you could stop singing. Oh, my God. What did you find? Well, we're going to have to let the doctor tell you. The doctor? Yes, sir, we can't. I'm just a technician. I can't tell you what we saw in the MRI. Well, I feel like this is a bunch of bullshit. Sir, I cannot tell you what you've seen in the MRI. When am I going to know? Well, let's see, what's today? Tuesday? No, it's now. Yeah, I know, but for practical purposes, it's Tuesday. I would say the doctor will get these at Thursday at 8 in the morning. Whoa, hold your horses, pal. The doctor will get the results in the now. What you're trying to do to me is make me think that there is some kind of salvation in the future, when we both know the future does not exist. Sir, we're going to put you back in the MRI. What? Yeah, sing a song again. Twist and shout, come on, shake it now. You're going to be in there for another hour, sir. Come on, shake it down, shake it on, baby. Twist and shout. Keep singing a song, sir. The MRI, you'll be out of the MRI soon. Look, come on, and shake it now. It's getting all over, twist and shout. All right, sir. I just punished you. You mean you put me? I'm going to take you out of the MRI. Come on, closer now. Come on, baby, shake it all out. Shake it all out. You know you look so good. Look so good. You know you got me going, girl. Got me going just like I knew you would. Like I knew you would. Now listen, Tom. I know you're the last person still selling encyclopedias door to door. Oh, hold it, Bob. I thought we were in an MRI with a guy singing Twist and Shout by the Beatles so he doesn't get nervous. And he was put in that MRI a second time because the radiologist didn't like the fact that he was being challenged on the concept of time. Yes, Bob. Yes, we are. But we felt, and we feel this, different people feel. What's that high pierce sound? That's the meatballs are ready in the microwave. They're microwaving meatballs where you are? Yes, unfortunately, Bob. But look, I just want to say you are the last man who is selling Britannica World Encyclopedias, the History of the World Encyclopedia. History of the World Encyclopedias? I don't think that's the exact term. Really? What's it called then? The Encyclopedia Britannica. Is that what it's called? No, I think the name... Excuse me, I'm going to go shoot myself over here. Again, another preventable suicide. He couldn't determine whether or not it was the encyclopedia. The freaks come out at night. The freaks. Knock, knock, knock. Hello? Yeah, ma'am. I'm selling the Encyclopedia Britannica, History of the World. Well, I don't think that's the name of it. No, well, the Encyclopedia Britannica, I'm selling, it does have the history of everything. I'm not sure the name. Well, if you don't know the name, then I'm not buying the product. No, ma'am, please. And also, sir, I have Google. I don't need the Encyclopedia Britannica. I have Google. Yeah, and also you have a large coffee stain on the front of your shirt. I know, I'm clumsy with coffee. I get excited when I drink caffeine. Well, maybe are you using that Focus brand that's very highly caffeinating? You know, I just want to sell you this encyclopedia. This is A through C. A through C? I told you I have Googled. Google? I never heard of it. Well, that's why you're the last man on Earth selling the Encyclopedia Britannica. And now, a message from the Hopi Indians. Hello, we are the Hopi Indians, and our message this year to civilization is do not take a leave. A leave is a bullshit painkiller. It hurts your stomach too if you're gonna take that shit. And again, this is the Hopi Indians with a message to civilization. If you're gonna take that horse shit, a leave, then take it with food, bread, a baguette, maybe a baguette with brie. If you're gonna take a leave in the middle of the night, I would suggest a banana instead of bread. Bread will just go on your hips immediately. The Hopi Indian says, the Hopi Indians message is also that large hips are out. Large hips are now out in 2027, or the now, whatever you want to call it. Large hips are out during climate breakdown. Hey, everybody, that's our podcast. I hope you were mildly entertained. I guess what we call these is just the careening mind of Eddie Pepitone, and hopefully Kevin will spruce it up for you. And I love you all, and remember, you have listened to Apocalypse Soon, a podcast with no upside.
Well, thanks for listening to the podcast, folks. And, of course, if you want to support this podcast and want to let us know that you love us, send us an email to eddiepetpodcast@gmail.com. Of course, you can go over to YouTube. We're getting close to 5,000 subscribers. You could be part of those early 5,000. Go over to wherever you listen to podcasts and subscribe to this podcast and leave us a review. YouTube at eddiepepitone.com. We got Patreon if you want to give us $5 or $20 to get to this podcast the day it comes out. And we'll get some exclusive Eddie Pepitone stand-up clips on there as well. And that's it, folks. Thanks for watching or listening, or both, to Apocalypse.